If I had a genie from Aladdin, I wouldn't wish for money, I wouldn't wish for power. I would wish for a few extra hours in my day. Because I always thought I never had enough time. I'd sit down to study, get distracted, procrastinate, and then suddenly it's midnight and I've done nothing. And I'd tell myself, well, there just wasn't enough time. That's why. Not me, the time. I genuinely believe that if I just had a few more hours, I could finally finish everything on my to-do list. The first thing on my to-do list, by the way, was finishing my to-do list. So that tells you everything about where my head was at.
But the astonishing, embarrassing, genuinely super embarrassing truth, I always had enough time. I just had absolutely no idea where it was going. So what changed? Stick with me, because this story gets a little weird. One day, after class, me and my friend went to the cafeteria. I was going on about how overwhelmed I was, how I needed 30 hours in a day, how I had too much to do and not enough time to do any of it. Classic me. And my friend, who is way too smart for his own good, just looks at me, completely calm, and says, "How many hours did you spend on your phone yesterday?" I laughed it off. Maybe an hour or so. He opened his screen time app. 1 hour. Then he looked at me. I opened mine. 5 hours.
5 hours on TikTok, doom scrolling, watching brain rot content. Me, a college student with actual deadlines. I sat there staring at that number, feeling genuinely caught red-handed. Because that's exactly what I was doing. I was stealing time from myself and then complaining someone took it. That moment changed something in my brain. I didn't have a time problem. I had a priority problem. I had the time. I was just spending it on things that didn't matter to me without even realizing it. And research actually supports this. A study published in PLOS One found that people are terrible at estimating how they spend their time. We think we're busy, but what we really are is occupied. And those are two very different things. Busy means doing things that move your life forward. Occupied means just filling hours.
Here's the uncomfortable truth nobody wants to say out loud. You have the same 24 hours as everyone else. Your classmates, your professors, Albert Einstein, though he's dead now, so his calendar is pretty free. The point is, nobody has a secret bonus hour hidden somewhere. And before you say that successful people are just more disciplined, have you seen pictures of Einstein's desk? An absolute disaster. Discipline isn't where it starts. Research in behavioral science actually shows that motivation and discipline come after you build structure, not before. You can't expect to reach the 3rd floor without walking through the 1st and 2nd. That's not how buildings work. That's not how habits work either. So the real mindset shift is this. Time is not something that happens to you. Time is something you make. You don't find time, you create it by deciding what you're going to stop doing.
I tested this on myself. For 1 week, I checked everything. Classes, studying, eating, scrolling, lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, having an existential crisis. Everything. What I found was kind of horrifying. I was spending over an hour every single morning just lying in bed on my phone before I even got up. That's 7 hours a week, almost a full workday, gone before my day even started. And here's what makes it worse. Gloria Mark, a researcher at UC Irvine, found that after any interruption, like checking your phone, it takes an average of 23 minutes to fully refocus. So every time I quickly checked my phone between study sessions, I was basically restarting my brain from scratch. I wasn't taking breaks. I was sabotaging myself. So I made one decision. I started treating my time like money. If someone asked to borrow cash, I'd actually think about it. But with time, I was handing it out to anything and everything without a second thought. TikTok? Here's my whole evening. A group chat going nowhere? Take 30 minutes. A show I don't even like? Sure, 3 hours. Absolutely. Help yourself. I started asking one question before everything I did. Is this worth my life? Because that's genuinely what time is. Every single hour you spend on something is an hour of your life you are trading for it. Not time, your life. And when you frame it that way, most of the stuff we do every day becomes very hard to justify. I put my real goals on my calendar first. The assignments I kept pushing back, the skill I kept saying I'd learn someday, the things that actually mattered. Everything else had to fit around that, or it simply didn't happen. Within a month, things I'd been avoiding for weeks were done. I had more free time than before, not because I was working harder, but because I stopped filling my hours with things that didn't deserve them. So here is your challenge. Track your time for 1 week, just 1 week, and be completely honest with yourself. Then ask, is this actually how I want to be spending my life? Because once you see it, you cannot unsee it. You don't need more hours. You already have enough. You just need to stop giving them away.